What is a site safety supervisor? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the roles and a really cool perspective that can be adopted for this position, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. And at the end of this, we're going to know exactly what a site safety supervisor is. If you're interested in that, stay with me on this video. So let me tell you a story. And I won't tell you what companies these were, and I'm not bad-mouthing, I'm just telling you what the cultures were. I remember one safety professional that wasn't always on the project, actually, but only showed up when something went wrong. Only showed up to criticize if, like a first aid or a minor injury or a near miss, right? Never really felt supported, always felt like it was on us, like, oh, I'd better have this or I'm gonna get critiqued. So most of the efforts actually ended up being like just in compliance and paperwork and not really focusing on effectiveness. Then I worked later with a safety professional, and I rave about her all the time. She had this culture of support and enablement, but also accountability. And when I went from this world to this world, meaning the not great example to the great example, there was 3 months there where I didn't get it. And in the new company, the new environment with the new safety professionals and the team, I remember one time the PX said, Jason, you're gonna have to snap out of it. You're gonna have to get it. I was like really like, this like walled up, controlling, not transparent. Oh, I'm going to do this over here to the side. And it hit me in this new environment, open, transparency, like communicate, share with your team. Why doesn't the project executive know about a near miss or something? Like share with everybody. And as soon as I snapped out of it, I just became so happy. Like it was absolutely phenomenal. And what happened is this safety professional would come to the project site every week and walk it with me. And if it wasn't her, it was somebody else, somebody that worked with her. And we would do a walk. We would come up with items. Any job would come up with items, right? Like, hey, it would be better to have this kind of a handrail. Let's put lights down the sidewalk, so on and so forth. And I remember the first time I was like, wow, that was a great walk. And I didn't get everything done right away. And she was like, Jason, we need to do this. We needed to do this. And then 3 days later, she shows up with the GS in a positive way, but had a talk with me. And it's like, Jason, we're here to help. We're going to put in the work. We're going to prevent. But if we have items, I want them done within 24 hours. I snapped out of it and I got, oh, okay. So she's going to support me. And there's no problem that there are things that need to be fixed. The only problem is if we don't fix it. So she was like, I'm not going to come here and chew your butt if something happens. I'm going to work with you and we're going to be accountable together to get out ahead of it. And that is probably the best example in my mind of what a site safety supervisor or even a corporate or regional or business unit leader safety supervisor is supposed to be doing. Help us get ahead and be a part of the team. Here are some things that I noticed. When working with her, the paperwork wasn't paperwork. It actually became a tool that was meaningful. Like literally, I was like, oh, I see the wisdom in this. Habits weren't just something pushed down from corporate. She would help you with the habits. You weren't expected to be perfect. She would walk it with you and help you fix it. It wasn't, oh, I'm just a consultant to the team there to do is advise. She was like, once this happens, I'm going to help hold you accountable 24 hours. I want these done. And if not, I need a message and a reason why. Something happened. It wasn't blame, blame, blame. It was let's go do a root cause analysis and we're here to support you. It was a beautiful culture. And so that's really the story that centers me around what this is all really about. And so whether a site supervisor is a safety manager or a corporate safety manager or a district or business unit safety manager or wherever this is, anybody that's helping supervise the site is a key role. And I'm going to talk about some of the key things right now. But let me also give you another analogy. I'm in Salt Lake City right now, and I got to fly from Phoenix, Arizona, Sky Harbor to Salt Lake City International Airport. Massive terminal, and there's lots of walking distance until the B terminals are connected directly to the passenger access and to TSA. And so you get to go with Southwest from B terminal all the way across an underground tunnel over to A terminal, and it's a lot of walking. It takes like 17 minutes. And there's a whole lot of moving walkways. This is petty of me, you're gonna think less of me, but I hate, like with a passion, when somebody gets on that walkway and just stands there. It's so maddening. Like the moving walkway, like moving and you walk. Like that's how it works. Not moving stand way, not moving getting everybody else's way, moving walkway. Now, if they want to stand, fine, I have some compassion. But the left side should be open, right side is if people want to stand. That's how they do it in Europe and Japan and the rest of the world. We need to adopt that in the United States. Here's what I noticed after my little immature rant, is that you will go faster. If somebody's standing on the moving walkway, you will go faster to just walk. Just don't even get on it. And I'm literally walking, I'm like, there they go, they're behind me, like this was faster. But if they're walking and you're walking on the moving walkway, you're gonna go twice as fast. The same thing with safety professionals. If you're like, oh, there's a safety professional, I'm just gonna stand here, you're gonna go slower than you were before. But if you're like, no, site safety supervisors on site, or I have safety support, I'm gonna work with them together, you're gonna go twice as fast. So giving up on site and just delegating it to a safety professional is like standing on a moving walkway in an airport, and I just want you to know I'll be annoyed at you as well. Just kidding. So let's go through, I've got a list of things that are included in this role that I think you're gonna love. Number one, risk assessments. This is really a neat thing. If the super and PM are doing like detailed planning, having a site safety supervisor dig in and actually, not actually in a negative way, but like do like extensive research on it to get it done right, that's an amazing responsibility for that role. Safety plans. Now, I'm not talking about like your pretest plans or your job hazard analysis or your activity hazard analysis, your AHAs. I'm talking about like massive things like erecting a tower crane or like flying in air handlers or something. Having a little bit of support there can be the walking on the moving walkway, kind of double the speed thing that can really help a project. Training and induction or onboarding and orientation. I want the project delivery team to be doing orientations. We don't just delegate that to one person, but making sure that for critical activities that we have that safety knowledge in with the crews and the huddles before the task begins is fantastic, and especially before we set up a crane. And then incident response, not to come in and be like blame, but to be like, oh, there was a first aid, there was a near miss, or there was a serious injury or fatality. Come in and support. That's when the team really needs your help. And so there's a lot more to this role, but I feel like we've covered the right mindset, how it can accelerate you and your team, and how they fit in, and what key things, like anything that's high risk that requires specialization is where we can really utilize a site safety specialist or supervisor or manager, and I think it's quite fantastic. So I'm grateful for all the safety humans that I've ever worked with, and remember, the moving walkway analogy is not the safety professional standing on the walkway, it's us. So I'm saying I'm annoyed at myself. I will never just stop and delegate it to somebody else. I will always work with them, because the safety manager in my analogy or supervisor is the moving walkway, and they will help accelerate me as I do my job. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to put this into a little blog post below, and if you want any other resources, please reach out. Love you all. On we go.